Welcome Between Sundays with Pastor Megan.
Here I am.
There you are.
Here I am.
It's us today.
It is us.
How fun.
Here we are.
Rainy morning.
Between Sundays.
Between Sundays.
Closer to the previous Sunday.
Yes.
But
how's it going?
Great. We were talking earlier.
Good posture.
Thank you. You know how you got to roll your shoulders up, down, and back.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Why not? Come on. Ready? Yeah. It also my shoulders crack when I do it. Up, down, and back. Helps you get some good posture.
Yes.
Don't you feel better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good.
We were talking
Everyone
earlier.
can do that at home too.
Yeah, ready?
Or wherever you're listening.
And then you can just take a deep breath. This is our yoga session. Just kidding. Not yoga session.
I've never done yoga.
I'm not flexible enough to do it. Which is
So what's going on?
Well, we're here on Monday.
It is
a rainy Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Our new front doors we're supposed to be in tomorrow.
Front doors to the church building?
Front doors to the church building.
Like the coffee house, the lobby, the whole, wow.
But they're here today.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful.
That's really exciting. We're at that point where if you were here this past Sunday, you saw some of the windows and stuff from the courtyard, but it's really coming together. This is an exciting time where we're able to now see some of the renovations starting where it's getting beautified now, not just torn apart.
Yeah, it's been a couple Sundays worth where it's is this ever going to happen?
Yeah.
And then this week it was oh my gosh, you can see it. It's actually coming together a little bit.
It's so nice.
So, which is great.
The coffee house is coming along.
Mm-hmm. This was a random question I had this morning.
Okay.
Just because I love all of your, what do you call these hats?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Hats. Flat caps, maybe.
Flat caps?
Probably.
Okay, viewers, if you know what kind of hat Joel is wearing, cap. You can put it in the comments. But I was just very curious, how many do you own?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
And do you have a favorite one?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, it depends on the time of the year. I have this same hat in 4 colors.
Okay.
So it's
is
a
it
German
the material
hat.
that you appreciate?
It's like that. It's like a wool, so it's warm.
Okay.
And it just fits well. I have kind of a big head. Okay. So I have to get 62 centimeters or so, or millimeter. I don't know which one. But I have this in blue, which is this hat. And I have it in tan, beige. And I have it in a maroon or pink. Mm-hmm. And then I have it in black and gray.
Okay. Yes. That one honestly does kind of look black and gray.
Oh.
But it's blue.
Yes, I think it's kind of blue.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I got the wrong one. I don't even know.
I don't know.
I have so many hats.
That's fun.
I probably have 20 or so.
How do you organize them in your closet?
I just stack them on top of each other, on top of a dresser thing.
So it's like a Jenga.
One time Shannon got me a really cool hat rack. But it only had 8 posts.
Not enough?
No.
Not enough.
So now I do a Jenga hat thing. And they all stack on top of one another because they're all the same shape. But I do have different styles of hats. I just don't wear them on Sundays.
What? Wait.
No, I always wear flat caps. Because my other style of hats have too big of a brim. And then it's hard to see.
Did you wear one?
I wore one to a recent wedding. Or no, anniversary party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, do you have any good hats?
I wear baseball caps.
Baseball caps are good.
Yeah. But on the opposite side, I have a very small head. And so I just got a new one from Target. They're not wool from Germany or anything.
When you're doing a lot of, because Megan's a super intense pickleball instructor and beach tennis player. We'll talk about that later, but do you wear
super intense?
Do you wear hats when you are playing tennis or beach tennis or pickleball?
It depends.
Do you have those little visor things that aren't hats but just visors?
Like a visor? No, I don't have a visor.
Okay.
I've thought about getting some.
That's kind of a Tennessee thing to do, isn't it?
It is,
but not a beach tennis.
And as a female, it's nice to wear a high pony with a visor.
A high pony.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say high ponytail?
Because it's too many syllables.
A high pony.
A high pony.
Wow, okay.
Not to be confused with a tall horse that is young. Which would be a tall pony, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
We're going to talk about you.
Don't talk about me.
Yes.
All right, hurry
up. For
those
those of you who may not know, Joel has been a part of Vineyard for many, many years. Do you know the exact number of years?
I have been here at the Vineyard since my daughter was 6 weeks old. Okay. And I think she is 23.
She is 23. I just saw her birthday the other day.
Okay, good. So, I mean, at some point it starts to blur, but yeah, so 23 and a half years.
Wow.
I guess.
Okay. Is there a moment, so in your 23 years of being here at the Vineyard, I could take this the funny route of like, what's the funniest thing that's happened here at the Vineyard? Just from...
Too much.
Too
many
much.
things.
Okay. But
we have a lot of awkward stories from things that happen because we're kind of Venice adjacent.
Oh, we are.
So we have lots of wonderful people and a great array, a diversity of people.
I went to Venice Beach on Saturday.
Oh.
I took Winston. Winston is the Shaw's dog. Josh and Brienne, they have a golden doodle, 9-month-old. And so I took him on a walk to kind of socialize him. And Venice Beach was a hoot and a half.
Had you ever been there before?
I had, not with a dog before. Let's just say that I got an arm workout and saw lots of fun.
Lots of interesting things going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but what is one thing? So if you look back on the 23 years, is there any piece of advice or anything that you would give your 23-year younger self?
Oh.
I know. Did you think we were going to go that way?
No. Nice. Mm-hmm. Wow. That I would give myself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't had enough coffee this morning.
You're not even drinking coffee.
I know. That's why I can't answer deep questions right now. I mean, I think one thing that's different, because before I was here, I was a pastor at a church in New Mexico for 6 years or so. Yeah. And it's just one of the things about LA that I wasn't prepared for is how fluid people are. Like LA is just, you build community. And then at least when I was first here, I was doing young adult ministry, and young adults, most of them would seem to come and maybe stay for a year or two. Oh,
like fluid, like transient.
Yeah, transient.
Okay.
People coming because they wanted to have LA do something for them. And we build community, develop leaders, and then send them out. So I think at first that was really hard because I wanted to build community, and the pastoral part of me wanted to see something longer term. I like to develop people and teams, but then people would constantly be moving back to their hometown or getting a job in Atlanta or something. Yeah. So I think quickly though, I began to learn that we have to see ourselves kind of as a equipping hub here. And not just a community that's going to continue to deepen, but also a place where people come and we pour in and we equip and we develop the best we're able, and then we release them hopefully to churches and other places. Wow. So I would have liked to have been a little more prepared for that, just because there's a lot of heartache when people leave or sadness. But now it's exciting. It's like if people come, even if they just come for 6 months, they can be where they are, get planted, develop some roots, and hopefully remember their time in LA as a time when Jesus formed them in rich ways. Yeah.
How does it look then? So for those of you who don't know, Joel is also oversees all of our communities and a place where we want people to develop more of that deep community and deep relationships. So how do you balance, or how do you see the balance of having these communities where people want to go deeper while also holding the equipping and this idea of sending them out maybe?
Yeah. Well, one of the interesting dynamics, I feel like when I first came here, Venice, this Mar Vista area, hadn't been quite as gentrified. So there were a lot more younger young adults who were also very into the arts world and kind of creative. It was a kind of a creative hub where I feel like with the rise of Silicon Beach, there's a little more permanency now, or a little more residency. I feel more children. I remember being here, at least it felt like when I was first here, that there weren't a lot of children around us. It was a lot of young adults. And I think there's been like a migration to Silver Lake and some of those areas. And this is now more of a Silicon Beach. I'm speaking really broadly, obviously, because there are so many subcultures to the west side. But a lot of the younger adults we have now in our church, I feel, are a little more, they see LA as home.
Established.
And they're starting
stable,
to love LA, not just want to use LA. And that's a really big thing. So with communities, I think it's still a very isolating culture in LA because there are millions of people, obviously, but you don't even look at the people you walk by on the sidewalk. So I think as a result, people are starving for authentic, real, vibrant relationships. And one of the things I've learned is you can really build that in LA if you're intentional. I've seen some rich community formed in our church and in our communities, but it just takes intentionality and getting the right people in the right room. It doesn't happen naturally here. Like in a small town where I was in New Mexico, you just kind of talk to people at the grocery store because you see the same people every day.
Do you not? Week. Hold on. When you go on a walk, do you not like say hi or acknowledge the people you walk by?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you don't become someone's best friend in 1 minute because you probably will never see the people you see at Ralph's again. The rest,
Maybe. Yeah. What is unique about the West Side from what I've noticed, just even being here for 9 months, is one, I would agree with the more established people are calling LA home. I live in a smaller complex, and these people have lived there for 4+ years. Like,
that's nice.
I think COVID for a lot of people was like, okay, I'm here. I'm buying a condo. I'm now here. And so almost all of my neighbors have been there for 4+ years.
That's wonderful.
Which is really cool. But I do notice the same people walking around my neighborhood, especially if they do have dogs. And if I'm consistent in my rhythms, so when I leave for work in the morning at a certain time, I'm like, oh, there's that same guy walking his dog. Oh, there's that same gal walking her dog. And it's like, I don't interact with them, which is a problem, but
LA is a lot of little neighborhoods.
Yes.
And so you are really rooted in your neighborhood, it seems, which is really cool. Walking dogs, you visit local shops, studios, various things like that. So
try and I would tell people I only operate within like a 5-mile radius of my house.
That's very smart because LA is really, it's neighborhood based, and you can really find that community. So I think I would tell my younger self to be resilient and to value the importance of equipping. And I originally thought I would be here 3 to 5 years. That's what we signed up for.
Whoa.
And just fell in love with the city and the Mar Vista and our church and the beautiful things God does in a city like this.
Wow. I don't remember who said this. Maybe it was Christine Kane. I don't know. Someone, not my own self, came up with this quote, and it was that God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called.
Yeah.
And that has stuck with me for years. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, if the Lord has called you to something, he'll equip you. Yeah. And with the help of the local church, we are not supposed to, but we want to equip people.
Yes.
Are we supposed to? Kind of.
That's our purpose.
Yeah, I was like, kind of.
The purpose of the pastors is to equip people for ministry, not to just do it all ourselves.
Yeah, and not just on Sundays. Culture. Equip people for life. Yes. Because life is hard.
Yes. Ooh, this is good.
Yeah. Wow.
You should tell us all about you.
Me?
Yeah.
I have to clear my throat real quick.
Okay, there we go. So start back in the very beginning, because I don't know that a lot of people know some of your story.
The beginning?
Yeah. Where were you born?
That much time.
Let's go pre-womb. Who are your mom and dad? I'm just kidding.
I'm not going that far back.
I'm kidding. But so tell us just real quickly, like how were you a Christian when you were a little girl?
I was, yes. So I grew up in a Christian home, and I would say that I said yes to Jesus very early.
Wow. Do you remember life when you didn't say yes to Jesus?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's really precious. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I remember what my room looked like. I remember my mom was there with me. My dad and sister were like out at a movie. So it's like very vivid in my memory. But I was also very young. Like I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I was in kindergarten. I was 6 years old.
Why is that embarrassing?
Because it just feels like as I look at 6-year-olds now, I'm like, are you able to comprehend this? And so that's just like, for me as an adult, is really interesting.
You knew, like in your 5 or 6 year old self, God touched you. He revealed himself to you.
That I wanted to love Jesus.
Yeah, and you had this childlike wonder that is kind of stripped away from us as we get older. We become cynical and materialistic, and we lose wonder. But you had that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just like,
it's beautiful.
I don't discount it because I know that it's so vivid and it did shape just kind of my life. But I don't have any recollection of who I was before saying yes to Jesus.
How did that happen? Did you go to a church with your parents or what?
Yeah, so I grew up in a church. My mom worked for a church for several years. Okay. And so we were very, very involved. And then just one night, we always prayed before bed. My mom and dad, this was my favorite part. If you're a young parent out there, this stuck in my memory. But you know the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I almost gave away my story. But my mom and dad would, at the foot of my bed, my mom or dad would grab my hands, and then my mom or dad, the other one, would grab my legs, and they would swing me, and they would go, Shadrach, Meshach, into bed we go.
Wow.
And it was the best.
Christian parents.
Parents, man. Yeah. So that was just like really fun and
that's great.
Stood out. So yeah, so they were very much, we prayed.
In your church at that age, did you sit with your parents or did you go to like a Sunday school or a kids church?
I went to a kids church. Yeah. So I grew up in more of a mega church.
Oh,
like a huge church to where I was actually talking with some people yesterday about this. I was like, we didn't have VBS growing up. I never went to a VBS.
Wow.
Because my church was big enough that they just did their own thing.
Wow.
Which was like wild as I now. I'm like, oh.
This is in Arizona.
Yeah. So not a ton of churches are this large to where they can just be like, we're going to do our own VBS type thing. And it had the slime zone. Wow. Where everyone would just get slimed and foamed on an obstacle course.
Wow.
So
that's they had a lot of land and big fields and parks and
we had our campus was fairly large.
Campus,
yeah.
If you use that word, it's little.
We were not multi-site, but our site itself
campus,
was
entire campus. That's really a cool story. So interestingly, in this yesterday, like you weren't in the service at all with the adults because you were with the children because Ron is on sabbatical.
That's correct.
So you've been doing a lot of kids stuff.
It has been.
Does that remind you of your childhood wonder and all of that as you look at these children or? No,
I don't know. Not really.
You probably have like a special heart though for that age as you're there because you came to know Jesus at that age.
Yeah, I do love the kind of early elementary into mid elementary age. That could be for a multitude of reasons, but I'm like, if I have a chance to be my goofiest self and tell kids that Jesus loves them and some like very small, minute, like, hey, this is what happened. Joseph forgave his brothers. How many of you have siblings? Do you think you can forgive them for taking your toy? Just being able to like simplify that and then hearing or seeing, I think a couple weeks ago we had kids write out on a whiteboard something that they did bad. So it was like, I bit my sister, or I know, I was like, whoa, or I like lied on a test, or you name it. And these kids were writing them out.
Wow.
And then we were able to, as leaders, then say, hey, just as we can forgive people, Jesus forgives all of this.
Wow.
And through Jesus who loves you, like these are
amazing.
all wiped away. And then we just like wiped it.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's
That's
really
so
fun.
powerful, especially after you just told your story, because we know that children are very welcomed by Jesus and that their minds and hearts and spirits can just run into his arms really powerfully. So it's beautiful to hear that those things are happening behind the scenes because we don't really, we have a very safe kids zone, kids area. So people don't get to see what's happening back there.
Yeah.
So it sounds like whiteboard, erasing sins.
Pretty intense, honestly.
I know,
but
it's very intense, but what's the role of fun and play
fun always.
in kids?
Fun
ministry?
always. Play always.
Why?
There is a, is it psychologically? Pedagogic? See, these are large words that Josh Shaw knows like the back of his
Psychologically and pedagogically.
Pedagogically, thank you. It's a Monday morning,
No,
man.
it's good.
I don't have my coffee
You're right.
either.
We just have one LaCroix.
Yeah. But for kids in that specific age range, it's like, man, they just need to have fun. They need to be able to move. They need to be able to play games and have fun with a small section of teaching.
Very potent teaching.
Yeah, very potent, straight, short. But we dance, we sing, we move around a ton. We have unstructured play. And so for us, that's our main hope is just that kids can have that freedom, are able to make friends and want to come back.
Yes, to have an
Because it's fun,
experience, to make memories. To make memories. So what's the difference between a kids ministry like that, where there's some teaching and a lot of fun and play, and just babysitting?
Oh.
Or childcare?
Yeah, babysitting is, I would like to say, babysitting has the mindset of let's keep you alive.
Yeah, let's tolerate you.
Yeah, let's tolerate you. Whereas the kids and family ministry is, hey, we're here for a purpose.
Very intentional.
Very intentional. And like we do want to see these kids say yes to Jesus. We do want to see our fifth graders when they are graduating into middle school be like, yeah, do you want to serve in kids and help the younger kids? And it's like, yes, this is way different than babysitting. Yes, we manage with outbursts and, normal kid things, but
it's not being present in a passive way and you're like scrolling on your phone while the kids are like just going crazy, running around in circles and not breaking anything.
Oh yeah, we're like,
there's like deep intention. Like I see you printing things out and we scrub the rooms the day before and things are clean, lessons are prepped, games are planned, supplies are purchased, volunteers are ready, prayed up.
They got volunteer t-shirts now.
Volunteer t-shirts,
which is really fun because we're like, hey, we're a team. This communicates that that intentionality is there of, hey, parents, we care deeply. Like we are a safe space and
it's very exciting. And then the big news with kids
is
that
our playground.
What's going on with our playground?
Oh,
because you have to picture like a McDonald's play place on steroids.
Yes.
Custom made for our room.
Custom made for our room. Yes, it has been ordered. Rumor has it, it's been shipped.
Where is it?
I have no idea.
Wow.
That's on my to-do list for today is to see where our playground is.
Do you think it'll be in by June?
By June, I hope so. Yeah.
May? Maybe?
I'm hoping for May.
So what is it like? Describe it to us.
Okay, so this playground, I think you described it fairly well, is...
No, but like get more micro with it. Like
micro
materials. Like what do you do in this play structure? Is it just like a slide and a swing set?
Nah, there are 2 slides.
Oh.
Count them. 2. 1 twisty swirly slide, which...
Like fully...
Like you come... Like the kids will climb up as high as they can go. I think our ceilings are only about 12 feet. So it is a 3-story.
Oh.
They were able to get 3 kind of sections in there. Throughout the playground, there are interactive components of like hanging, almost looking like punching bags to where you have to make your way through. And then you can do the big slide. You can only go maybe up 2, take the smaller slide.
Okay.
You can climb up these like webbed things to the top. So
3 stories.
3 stories.
Is it for like,
kids?
Is it only for like elementary age kids?
I would say it stops at like the 6th grade level.
Yeah, like 4-year-olds and up.
Oh yeah, 4-year-olds. Yeah, we have a little toddler area.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. For like 2 and 3-year-olds.
Yeah, so younger kids. There's the little toddler area. I think that's where the smaller slide is.
That's amazing.
So
can you get in it, or could I go on it?
Yeah.
Like if not with the kids, but like
not with the kids.
Could we take a staff play structure moment, or is it not that sturdy?
Well, someone has to make sure that it got set up correctly. We are not setting it up. The company is coming. They have a team that puts it together. Yeah. But then it has to be broken in throughout the week before we let kids on it.
It has to be. So we'll hear a noise coming from downstairs, and it'll be Pastor Megan going down the slides and going through the web things.
Yeah, we got to test it out. We got to let the kids know.
What color is it?
It is our kids' color scheme is kind of bright blue, turquoise-ish, some yellows, maroons, and then what Josh likes to call sad beige. Kind of like this table.
Oh, okay.
He would probably call sad beige.
Sad beige.
But it's a neutral, so a neutral to kind of bring in the, I don't want to say sophisticatedness, but more modern, but also fun colors. So it's mostly blue and yellow, and then a lot of the normal components like arms and things are beige.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Who puts it together? Like, it has to be assembled, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is too complicated for us to do it. So the company brings out a crew.
Okay.
And so they'll spend time to put it together.
Very exciting.
It's so fun. Okay, wait, my turn for a question.
Oh.
Why?
So I like asking you questions. Okay, go ahead.
No, you asked me so many questions. I feel like these people are bored about Megan's life. Just kidding. Talking about Sunday yesterday and Joseph. We talked a little bit about
Joseph. I say Joseph.
You say Joseph?
Yeah, and you say Joseph.
No, I say Joseph.
Joseph. F.
Joseph.
Yeah, you say it correctly. I think.
That's if
yesterday I got self-conscious because as I was preaching, I kept saying Joseph, and I thought there's no Joseph. It's not UF. Joseph.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Anyway,
I think
keep going.
Anyways, as you were preparing, this is a very impactful passage where Joseph reveals himself to his brothers. I know you had your main 3 points and I was not in service because I was with the kids. So oopsies, maybe if you did touch on this, amazing. And I will go listen to it later. But what was, as you were studying and as you were preparing, you mentioned kind of this come close to me aspect. What do you think? What was your main hope that people were able to walk away with yesterday?
I mean, it's such a powerful story, but it's this moment where we begin to see Jesus in the character of Joseph and his radical invitation and the grace he showed, the mercy he showed, and then the invitation that just to come close, that he desires that reconciliation, and that so my hope was that we would just do that, like a deeper encounter, that we could experience radical mercy of God and the radical grace of God. We talked about the differences in those two things, and then just the invitation to intimacy with him. It's a very profound thing that the God of the universe, who is on high and majestic and perfect in all of his ways, obviously just wants to come and be with us as well. So very beautiful.
Yeah, and I would say the story of Joseph is just, there's so many different aspects of it, of betrayal and then being able to reconcile and restore and forgiveness, and just so many of these different pieces found in the story of Joseph. And so we on a Sunday have so many different kinds of people coming in. We don't really know where they're at in their walk or what they are experiencing in their life. And so from your perspective, how do you think this story of Joseph is able to, in some ways, accommodate people who are at very different stages?
That's a good question. I mean, it's an incredible story. So just the narrative is really inviting and interesting, and I think it draws people in. But then we can find ourselves in it in so many ways. Like one thing I love is that we didn't talk about really is Joseph is pretty weepy. Like he's cried in the last few chapters. We see him crying, and then yesterday, when we looked at chapter 45, it says he just cried and sobbed uncontrollably, and that's strange in Western culture for like a strong leader man to just be weeping uncontrollably. But it wasn't strange back then. It's not strange in some Middle Eastern cultures for men to just be able to freely cry. And that's something that I think is very inviting as well and captivating. And then we see issues like topics like forgiveness, shame, guilt, betrayal, loneliness, waiting on God seeming to be silent. These are all topics and things that every person who walks through the door is experiencing or struggling in one way or another. We've all been betrayed or we've betrayed. We've all experienced the feelings of shame and guilt and brokenness, and we've waited to hear God's voice. So Joseph's story meets us in all of those aspects. I mean, it's a beautiful,
really cool.
Very comprehensive, amazing story. And we're not done.
The story is still to be continued.
Still continuing.
I had the kids as we were reading, because Joseph like wails and weeps and sends everybody out of
Everyone
the room.
Get out of the room.
Yeah. And so I had our kids enact it, and I was like, who's going to be Joseph? Little did they know that what I was about to ask them
to scream.
And so one of our kiddos, I was like, and then Joseph like wailed and wept. And I looked at our Joseph and I said, can you like wail and just cry so loud? And then I gave an example, and I, as like in Western culture, modern day, I was like, oh, this does feel weird. Like even to try and demonstrate it for kids, they're just like, ah! And you're
This
like,
is like the ruler of Egypt.
yeah.
Just uncontrollable sobbing that won't stop, where his body's just shaking.
Yeah. So that, and I think for that to be enacted even
That's powerful.
with kids is like, oh yeah, this isn't just a little cry. This is
Says
this
he
is
couldn't
intense.
control himself any longer.
Yeah.
And he just cried out. And then the dam breaks, and he says, I am Joseph. Finally, 25 years or so. Beautiful
And then
story.
he hugs Benjamin and just weeps some
They
more.
all weep.
Yeah.
And after all those years of only talking about one another, now they're talking together at the very end. It's very, very beautiful.
But to be continued.
To be continued.
Because the story is not done.
Well,
okay.
What else do you have for me?
What else do I have for you?
Because I've got some more for you.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, this one is more forward and future looking, which I know that you enjoy.
Yes.
Where
How do you know that?
Just in conversation that you're very excited, and
I am very excited.
yeah, we've had a ton of new people, and just conversations and people's stories that we've heard are really, really cool. But what excites you the most about where we're heading as a church?
That's broad. The most.
I don't know. Yeah, you take it. Do you need coffee?
No. I mean, it's easy. I could talk a lot about where we're going, but I want Josh to talk about some of those things. I'm very excited just for new people to continue to encounter Jesus in different ways. I get to talk to people every Sunday after we gather, and people come out, some of them excited, some shaken, some weepy. People are experiencing Jesus, and there's nothing more beautiful for me than to experience a glimpse of that, of the story of what God's doing in people's lives. He's doing so much, and we know it's him doing things, because it's not like everyone that we talk to is all experiencing the same aspect of God.
Right.
Some people are finding freedom. Others are hearing an entirely different thing from from the sermon than even the topic that was preached in a sense, because the Holy Spirit's moving, and then people in worship are, wow. So I'm just excited for more people, and a lot of the newer people that are coming seeking and curious, they're starting to stick and go deeper and start coming to communities. And we're starting to now see, as we talk about a lot, like more and more themes of what kind of discipleship needs to start taking place. And so I get most excited, I think, about our next season we're entering into. I love Encounter, and that's the core, but we're moving into a season later this year, hopefully, that we're calling Formation, where we begin collectives, different experiences for people to be formed in intentional ways. And I can't wait for that season to come.
Yeah.
Super excited.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for our building to be finished too. But it's also just such a great metaphor for what's happening in our church and in our lives. We're all just being renovated by Jesus. And
Isn't
I
there
love
a book,
the
Renovations of the Heart? Isn't that a book?
Yeah. I love the development and the restorative process. That's part of what I love as a pastor with people. And I really love it when our whole church is going through something like that. So watching something beautiful God's building in us and in our facility, but especially in us, and hopefully eventually on the west side through us, it's really, really exciting. What about you?
What am I most excited about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I very similarly, just I think as a staff, one to see, even in the midst of our building renovation, where it was like a few weeks where you're like, what is this place?
It looked like a barn.
What's happening in this place?
We still had new people coming when we had tarps up and plywood, and they're like, I had such a great morning. And it's like, we don't usually look like this. They're like, oh, we didn't even notice.
But that is just like a testament of that it doesn't really matter what it looks like. Does it help? Sure. Do people enjoy a nice looking thing? Yes, absolutely. But at the heart of it, the Holy Spirit is still moving. God is still moving in people regardless of
that's been really beautiful.
What our building looks like. So
I interrupted you. Keep
No,
going.
that's okay. No, and that has just been very exciting for me over the past several months of, man, these people are coming for Jesus. Like they are coming to encounter, or maybe they don't even know Jesus, but they're coming for something and they don't know what yet. And so I'm very excited to see that continue. Yes. I'm very excited for once our renovations are done, when our front entrance is back to the front of our building at our double doors.
We're not going to be going through that secret entrance by the courtyard.
I know. I tell people, any new people, I usually stand out like on Pacific and Centinela. And I'm like, it's kind of weird. It's like you're going to a speakeasy. It's this just odd small door.
Yeah, you're in a lot of construction when you have to like to qualify things to new people. Yeah. I was talking to a new person from England yesterday from the UK. Okay. And she was saying what an amazing morning she had. And I found myself saying, this room over here doesn't usually look like that. Like I had to explain.
I know, I find myself qualifying a lot. It's like, this is going to get better.
She was like, I didn't even notice because people are experiencing God. They're not studying our facilities.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that to just really continue, and with collectives in the fall, just saying, hey, all of these people have found this place. So many people have like live within a 5-minute radius.
We're getting a lot of local neighbors.
And I love that.
Me too.
Like I love that we are very local.
Yeah.
I don't know what word I was going to go for. I was going to go for locality, and then
locality matters.
Local. But that's been really, really sweet to see.
Amazing.
So very excited.
Yeah, and you have that local dynamic. And so collectives are coming, formation. Incredible.
Yeah. It's fun. Very fun. Okay. Do you have questions now?
Well, I do. Let me see what
if you want.
I have some ideas.
Also, how much time do we have left?
I don't know.
We can't make this like a 2-hour podcast.
No, we can't. So we can do a this or that with you. Venice edition. Oh. Mar Vista edition.
Oh, no. If it has to do with restaurants, I'm not well restaurant.
This or that. You have to choose between two good things really quickly.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Should I close my eyes so that way I can think clearly?
Uber,
no, I'm okay.
Uber or Waymo?
Waymo.
Oh. Okay, why?
Waymos are amazing.
Megan took me in my first Waymo.
Yeah.
You know what a Waymo is? Explain a Waymo.
What a Waymo is the self-driving cars.
Those are
that
those
look
white
like
cars you
spaceships.
see. Yes.
Yeah, driving around.
One was pulling up to take us somewhere, and as it was pulling up, like the light on top had MB,
yeah.
from Megan Budd.
They're just they're high tech.
Okay.
And I really don't enjoy driving a ton. And so the idea of not having to worry about anything, any car, literally, I put my full trust in this piece of technology. I sit in the back seat. I don't even want to be riding shotgun. I'm like, please be my chauffeur, Waymo.
Strangely, like I felt more safe in the Waymo than I do when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Or when other people are driving.
100%. Yes.
And I thought it would be the opposite. Like, how do I trust a self-driving car?
So some people, I was asking my sister about this at one point, and she was like, nope. Some people just really like to be in control of their vehicle. Yeah. And I was like, nah.
I mean, I do. I reached over and grabbed the Waymo steering wheel once.
When I tell you not to.
I know. The voice came on. It was like, please
don't touch. Yes. Please let the Waymo driver drive.
That's amazing.
But okay, yeah.
One time, I feel like I got in a road rage incident with a Waymo once. Like it was trying, it was on like getting into my lane. It's like, no, you're not going to get into my lane. And I thought I can kind of get angry at it because there's no human. Like, is it wrong to have road rage against a Waymo?
I did have an experience. I'll just tell this really quick. I was driving in Mar Vista. There are those streets where you can only park on one side. Yes. But it's a two-way street, a very tight two-way street. And so I turned down, and a Waymo was also coming, and I was like, what's going to happen? Wow. I was like, I'm going to squeeze over as much as I can, but what happens if the Waymo hits me?
Wow.
Is it the Waymo's fault? It's not my fault.
Well, what happened?
We were able to squeak by.
Okay.
So that was good. But I get very nervous when I'm like in very tight, close proximity to other vehicles.
So they don't go on the freeways yet?
They don't. No, there's too many unknown variables.
I always heard that freeway driving is safer though than road driving in LA.
You think LA freeway driving is safer?
Yeah, because you're going like 25.
Well, sometimes you're going 5.
Sometimes you're going 85.
Sometimes you're going 0.
Okay, next. Okay. This or that. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
Tahiti or the Alps vacation?
Tahiti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beach?
I'm a beach gal.
Way more than the mountains, but you're from Colorado.
Well,
not you're from there, but you.
I'm not. I lived in Colorado for 10 years. Okay. And
but you like, you are beach. You're always at the beach.
I know. I would.
You go to the beach a lot.
I do.
Aren't you excited for May gray and June gloom to pass?
No, honestly, I'm excited for May gray and June gloom.
You like that?
Yes. For those of you who don't know, you're just getting a lot of insight into who I am as a human.
Because you're always doing operations and you're holding things together. But yeah, it's amazing to hear more about you.
But here's the deal. So once May gray and June gloom are gone, that means that the beaches are going to be so crowded.
Right. And it's tourist season
too. And it's touristy. Yeah. So I'm like, give me May gray and June gloom because that scares people off to where I have the beach to myself.
Do you play beach tennis and stuff like that? That's at the beach, obviously.
Yes.
Like in Venice or in Santa Monica, or where do you go?
It is in Ocean Park. So Santa Monica. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm tried and true. I was there throughout the entire winter. When a lot of people take breaks. I'm like, it's not that bad. Just throw on a sweatshirt and some sweatpants.
And you never played that before you moved here?
Correct. Yeah, never heard of it until I moved here.
Yeah, I've still never heard of it except from you. Mm-hmm. You played a lot of pickleball, though.
Yes. Yeah, I played a lot of pickleball.
All right. So that's the next this or that.
Oh, okay.
Pickleball or beach tennis?
I'm going to go with beach tennis.
Wow. That's startling.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Wow.
Yeah, I would go with beach tennis because I think it brings more of beach volleyball vibes to it. And I love being on the sand.
Because when I first met you, pickleball was your thing. You even worked for a pickleball company before.
I did.
You're like super into pickleball.
Yeah.
You're a trainer. You trained me. Ish. In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I needed a lot more training, but...
Yeah, I am a coach for beginners. I'm not like an advanced coach by any means, but I think I'd go beach tennis.
Amazing. So that
feels good to say.
So describe beach tennis in a nutshell for people who don't know what it is, like me.
I'm going to butcher this. So anyone who actually has played beach tennis before,
Okay, just paint the picture of what it looks like.
paint the picture. Imagine badminton
Okay.
on the sand with a tennis ball and a bigger racket.
Oh, so it's on the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the beach.
You're on the beach. Mm-hmm.
So it's like badminton with a tennis ball and a bigger racket on the beach.
Yes.
Wow.
That's in simplest terms.
How is it? Just 1-on-1 or 2-on-2? Or?
You can do either. You
Okay.
can mostly 2-on-2.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a blast.
That sounds amazing.
It's very fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have Uber, Waymo, and Waymo.
Waymo. Mm-hmm.
We have Tahiti or the Alps and Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Beach tennis or pickleball and beach tennis. So here's the next one. Kids worship dance party or kids worship trivia challenge? Bible trivia or dance party?
Dance party.
I know that one was kind of
Yeah,
a good
that was
easy, but it's kind of good. Okay, what about for our coffee house renovation?
okay.
If you had to pick between these two materials, neon signs or reclaimed wood?
Where?
I don't know.
Like, they're just anywhere, or is there specific?
Just which material do you like better?
Well, this neon sign is cool,
It is.
but I don't think that I'd want it in our coffee house.
No.
I'm gonna go reclaimed wood.
You're more of like a reclaimed wood person.
Well, also, yeah, I'm also trying to keep a lot of the
old world.
old world
Yeah.
Italian rustic
much so.
vibes. Yeah.
Yes.
So reclaimed wood.
We're glad you're at the Vineyard.
Thank you.
We're glad you left the pickleball world, the executive world, you didn't leave it for the church because you've been a church planter. You've done all kinds of ministry stuff. So, but we're glad you're in LA.
I'm happy to be here. Glad to be
What's
here.
coming up?
What's coming up?
Yes, besides renovations. So we have a few more weeks of Joseph.
Yeah, and then Easter is around the corner.
Easter's coming up.
Easter's coming.
We're in the middle of Lent.
We are.
We are. And we have Good Friday.
Yep, Good Friday is on a Friday.
We're going to start announcing that, bringing a lot of awareness to that soon.
This week.
This
actually.
week. Okay, so it's coming. It's going to be at 7:00 this year.
7:00 Good Friday service.
It's Friday,
On Friday.
7:00.
Yeah.
Really, it's going to be a rich time. We've already begun together as pastors, just leaning in and dreaming and praying about it and envisioning it, and it's going to be rich.
And then Easter Sunday is a wonderful party
Yes.
and celebration. So that's coming. And then we have baby dedications.
We have baby dedications coming.
We're calling it our Family Sunday or our Family Celebration Sunday. And that is Mother's Day.
Mother's Day this year. May
12th?
something like that, 15th,
Don't
12th.
quote me on the date, but it is Mother's Day.
Yeah, so if you have a child,
Any age,
maybe not teenage,
not teenage, or infant through 5, fifth grade.
through fifth grade, who has never been dedicated, it's not a baptism; it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a time to set apart as parents, mostly that
And the church.
and the church. Yeah, it's for parents in the church to say we want to raise our children in the way of Jesus, and the church to say we want to stand with you in that and really commit to that.
Yeah.
So we already have, I think, 2
or 3
who want to be baptized. So that's
Yeah.
exciting. I mean, dedicated. But we do have baptisms coming. Speaking of baptisms.
Yeah, that is also happening in May.
In May, if you've never been baptized, since you've made a decision to follow Jesus,
Make it public
do it.
through baptism. Oh my gosh,
plunge.
I'm like eating the microphone. Oopsies.
Yes.
Sorry.
These are cool.
I didn't want to do that.
Yes,
I've knocked it a
baptisms,
couple.
baby dedications, Good Friday, the cross, Easter, the resurrection,
So many
renovations
things.
coming into land.
A playground, maybe.
A playground.
Yeah.
A coffee house.
A coffee house.
Reopening soon.
On Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super exciting.
That is fun.
Well,
Wait, I have a final question
okay,
for you.
go.
To bring us into land.
Okay.
Speaking of coffee and Joseph,
Okay.
if you could have coffee with Joseph, what do you think he would order?
Oh.
And then what is one question that you would ask him?
These are hard. These are broad, amazing questions, but very complex. Okay, what would I thought you were going to say, what would he order and what would I order?
Both, yeah. What do you think he would order, and what would you order? He's coming 21st century coffee house.
Okay.
Just for clarification.
So it's not like back in the day.
No.
Joseph's the kind of guy. I mean, I don't know. Wow. I could go a lot of directions on that.
No, wait, this is so fun.
I wonder if he would if he's like a alternative milk kind of person, or if he likes dairy.
Okay. So we're starting with milk preference.
Yeah, because it would shape some.
Okay.
It would shape a little bit of it. Like,
okay, let's think about his personality. Like Joseph is a human. He's wise, hardworking,
emotionally aware,
patient, bold.
He might get a decaf. He has a lot of patience.
You think he get a decaf?
He doesn't seem to have a lot of anxiety.
No.
He waits well.
Yeah.
If you wait well,
maybe
he's
a
kind of
pour
chill.
over.
He's kind of like he's probably, yes.
You could be a pour over.
Just a good pour over.
Okay.
Just black.
Yeah.
Pure.
But able to wait patiently for it
Very
to be
nice. I would get like a cold brew and get massively caffeinated.
For the question that you would ask him, which would be.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'd love to hear more about the years in the dungeon and how he was so resilient. We don't hear a lot about how he felt and what he was saying and thinking and doing. We know he was faithful, but I'd love to hear stories of that. So not even a question. I would just say, maybe the question is, could you tell me some stories?
Yeah. Could you tell me more about?
Tell me more. What about you? What would you ask and what would you order?
Oh no, that was my question. You asked me all the this or that.
Okay. Well, this is fun. Pastor Megan, getting to know her better.
And
if you
Joel.
made it through this, thank
And
you.
Joel too.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I always like to give in like a little Easter egg for people who made it to the end.
Yes.
But I don't know.
What does that mean, an Easter egg?
Okay, so when you filmed our kids training videos and podcasts, and so I told them, I said, hey, if you have made it to the end, come find me on a Sunday.
Oh.
And you ask me for a candy bar.
Oh, wow.
So only one person did it.
Okay. That's good. Well, so yeah, come find Pastor Megan or me this Sunday if you make it this far, and you will get...
Are we offering a candy bar? We are?
Maybe not a candy bar. What could we offer?
Well, we do have like the mini candies.
Okay. Come get a mini candy.
Yeah.
From the Connection booth. If you made it this far.
But you also have to do a callback for something in the middle. Because some people jump to the end. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good.
So what did we talk about? Oh, it'd be Uber or Waymo. So if you just come and say Waymo.
Well, now you just gave it away.
Okay, now I don't know.
Yeah. What else did we talk about? Oh, where you have to explain where, like how Megan came to faith in what season of her life.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. So if you
did that, you really watched or listened.
And we're grateful.
Yes.
For being here with us.
Yes.
Between Sundays.
Okay.
We hope this was fun for you, insightful for you, maybe even spurring you along in faith a little. Which is a hope.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how you sign off.
Have a great week.
Bye.